You're just in all your ways for this cause. We offer up our praise. And God, our God, how precious is your name, Almighty King. Forever you will reign. Blessed are we that our Redeemer lives, for our ashes, beauty that you give. For this cause we worship and magnify your name. For this cause we sacrifice our praise.
All right. Peace of Christ to all. Today we are going to expose some of the lies Muslims they post them in their website, and because the Muslims they are to use to have people who they are ignorant about Islam, so they think always they can get away with their lies. Please invite your friends, inform them that we are live on air, and if you have any questions, feel free to be involved and to ask me. I will show you on the screen in front of us. Before we continue, if any of you have any request, you have a question, you want me to make a video about something, to refute someone, to debate someone, this is the address you see in the screen. This is how you can contact me. You can log in and you can send me your request and your question, and I will be happy to answer you. Now, when the Muslims they speak about their good God and the good religion of Islam, and they make website, or let us say even pages on Facebook, and they call it Revert to Islam. First of all, the idea of saying revert to Islam is just to fool you, to make you believe that Islam is the original and you are reverting back, which like we are worshiping the same God and the same belief, but now you are fixed in your belief. This is a big fat lie. We share nothing with Muslims, and the God of Islam have nothing to do with the God of the Jews and the Christians. So we have to make this clear before we start. And this is why the Muslims they use this term revert. It's just to fool you, to make you feel like you are not converting to different religion. It's just reverting to the old religion, which is nothing but a deception. However, I will share with you on the screen this page on Facebook, which is sent to me by someone in Facebook. And let me take this thing off so you guys can see better. All right. As you see, this is a page on Facebook in the front of your eyes. And this page is called Convert to Islam, but the name title is Revert to Islam Community. And there's 210,000 like. Let me see how we can defeat the 10,000 liars in this page. I will start one by one. You see, I'm not choosing a topic. This is what I see in front of me right now. This one is post 1 hour away. So don't say I'm picking up a topic and I'm choosing my cherry. Keep your house clean as if it's you're expecting a visitor. All right. Now, is that part of Islam? Let us see how Muhammad he was clean in his house. You see, I don't like to make speeches. You know me. I'm not the guy who makes speeches. I go and I show proofs and reference as it is. Not my opinion, not my statement. The Prophet of Islam, the one the Muslims talking about being clean at home. How you can keep your home clean? The Prophet, when he used to do poo-poo, or when he do sex, he used uh, to dry his hand in the wall. Let us see if I can find the hadith faster. You see, because I'm not preparing for like a topic, whatever is there, I'm going to answer it. And then you will see a surprise. The Prophet, when he do have sex or he do like have a dirt, he dry his dirty hands in the wall. Is that how you keep your house clean? Read with me, please. This is the clean Prophet. The messenger of Allah came from the privy. He was having sex. All right, whatever, and then he returned, etc. You know, the story actually, all of it is weird. And then he come to the wall and he placed his hands on the wall and he whipped his face and the hands, and he returned the man solution. A man is coming from the poo-poo. He is in his home. He is drying his hands on the wall. He did not wash his hands with water yet. He is drying his hands, which is full with poo-poo, on the wall. In the website there, they are saying to us, the Muslims revert to Islam. They're trying to imply that we Muslims are clean people who keep our houses clean. But if you do, that's not because you're a Muslim. Your Prophet, look what he used to do. That is not a behavior of someone is clean. You don't go to the bathroom, you don't do poo-poo, and then you dry your hands in the wall of your bedroom. You use a towel, something you can wash again. But if you dry it in the wall, you are making your wall dirty. You do not need to be genius to know it. So obviously, this picture here in this website is nothing but a scam. And this is what we do today. I'm going to expose the scam which Muslims they provide to you in their website. So the question to Muslims, do you, after you do poo-poo, do you dry your hands on the wall? And by the way, Muslim, they might say to you, this is a weak hadith. You know the game they play, right? Weak hadith. Well, Abdul, this is not weak hadith, this is sahih. And just to let you know, by the way, all those hadith we will show, it is strong, because even when they say here weak, this is a Sheikh al-Albani, this is something new. They're trying to fabricate about what is weak, what is not. But already, those books, Sunnah ibn Dawood, the Sahih books are 6 books. So whatever hadith exists there is already sahih. The game they play today, try to fool you, it doesn't work no more. We know. Like you can play with those ignorant who do not know Islam. So your Prophet, when he do poo-poo, he do place his hands on the wall and he dry his poo-poo in the wall. That is an amazing clean person. So don't tell the people that the best of you is the one who keep his house clean. Is that an advice from Islam? Well, you should go and teach your Prophet the manner of being clean. In different hadith, I will show you the top one here, that Muhammad, his hand was dirty. Even the marks of his hands in the wall. Do you see it? Muhammad is dead. And now Aisha, she's showing them after his death, long after his death, that I want to show you the marks of Muhammad on the wall. Do you see how clean he is? And this one from 6. Muhammad drying the sperm in his hand on the wall. Because if you dry your hand in the wall with water and your hands are clean, they will not leave marks. The water will go, and you know, everything will be fine. Water is see-through, it's not the dirt. If you spray some water in the wall dry, and the wall is still clean. Unless your hand is dirty, and that will leave marks. Just water will not leave marks. So again, when a Muslim they say something to you, I advise you, don't ever believe anything Muslims they say. This one, nothing really, nothing there. Okay. Saudi Arabia police men praying in the road. Well, let me tell you something. ISIS, they pray in the road too, and they do exactly what the Saudi police do. Just last month, the Saudi police you are talking about, they beheaded 57 human beings, including teenagers. And 4 journalists. Look like the mercy of Allah is all over and beheading wherever Islam goes. Teenagers and 4 journalists. And what is the accusation? They are terrorists. The fact they are not. They just say they protest in the street. That is Islam. So don't fool us with the police. What about you show us the Saudi police? They are beating women for walking alone in the street. Or what about you show us how women in the street, they cannot walk safely in Saudi Arabia, where men, they chase them as they are dogs. Look. And this is not only in Saudi Arabia. All Islamic countries, they have the same disease. A woman, and by the way, in Saudi Arabia, if a woman walk alone, either is going to be raped or kidnapped, or will be humiliated like this, or she will hear 1 million words, dirty words. But this is not the case only in Saudi Arabia. You know, even the refugee, the Muslims, when they went to Europe, what they did? The first thing they did after 1 week of their arrival, they attack women all over. That's because of Islam, and I will explain to you why. If you go in the bus, by the way, like I don't wanna show you those videos, but if you go in the bus or on the train in Saudi Arabia or in Egypt or in those Islamic countries, you will see what they will do to any women they see. I'm not going to play it because it's really dirty and disgusting. But this is what they do. And the Muslims, they give us speeches. However, I'm not going to judge Islam by those Muslims. We judge Islam by the Prophet. Did the Prophet stare at women bum? Did he molest women? Did he sleep with women that are not his own? I will show you a story which is a very well-known story for Muslims, and I challenge any Muslim to say that because they might say to you, oh, those are filthy, those are not Muslims, oh, they are bad. You know what, there's people who they do those things in everywhere in the world, right? Okay, just wait. What if we show you that Muhammad himself was the most filthy creature ever you can imagine? There's a story in the Qur'an about Muhammad going to the house of his own son. His who? His own son. And when he went to his house, Muhammad, he saw the wife alone. The wife was alone. And Muhammad, he could not resist the beauty of the wife of his son. So he said to her, Subhanallah, mu'alliful qulub. Praise be to Allah, the one who made my heart beat for you. The Prophet of Islam, is flirting and showing a sexual desire for a married woman. Not only a married woman, in her house, and she is married to his own son. So why you are surprised about those who you saw in the street attacking women like dogs? This is a chapter 33, verse number 37. You can choose any translation, which all of them are false. But I will take the first translation appear there just to show you I'm not making my own translation. This is your own. Always Muhammad, when he have a sexual desire to anyone, he come with the verse and claim that Allah is the one who told him to have sex with this woman. And this is additional proof to prove that Muhammad is a false man. So when Muhammad, he wanted to have this woman, Muhammad, he come with this verse saying, Allah said to him, behold, didn't say to the one who had received the grace of Allah and the favor, retain thou the wedlock, the wife, and fear Allah, but thou didst hide in the heart that which Allah was about to make manifest. Let me choose different translation to make it easier. This guy is trying to be like Shakespeare in his funny translation. Something easier to read and understand. Shakir. And when you say to him, to whom Allah had shown favor, and whom who had shown a favor, which is funny, keep your wife to yourself, and be careful of your duty to Allah, and you concealed in your soul what Allah would bring to light, and you feared men. What he's talking about? He's talking about Muhammad, he have a desire for a married woman. Imagine, guys, Allah saying to Muhammad, why you are hiding that you have a desire to make this married woman? Why you are saying to the man, supposedly Muhammad, he said to this man, no man, keep your wife, don't divorce her. Huh? Why you are saying to him, don't divorce her when you want her? So, which means this verse revealing that Muhammad, he have a relationship and he is involved with married women. And not only this, Allah himself is encouraging Muhammad to announce his desire. And you want to tell me about the dignity and the quality of Islam and revert to Islam? Can I trust Muhammad to come to my house? Now let us see what is behind this story. What is behind it? Because there is something behind it. What happened according to Islamic source, that Muhammad, when he saw Zainab in her house, she was wearing sexy clothes. In other ways, see-through clothes. I will try. Let us see. You know what I will show you. It's not my own interpretation or anything. No, you know me. I'm not the one who say or do that. All right. So I will take the verse to see what this verse means from the Islamic interpretation. And then you will see if what the Muslims speak about, it makes sense. Does it really exist? Is it really, this is a religion of dignity where women, they cover themselves? Because later we will see the Muslim, they have a picture saying hijab is in the Bible. And I have a surprise for you, Muslims. Let us see how the hijab work. Just wait. In front of you, I did not even choose my own interpretation. This is At-Tabari. At-Tabari is saying that when Muhammad, he went to visit his own son, he liked her. When she was married to his own adopted son. So Allah said to him, why you are hiding what you have in your heart? The man is in love with the married woman. Why you are saying, look what he's saying, وَتَخَافَ أَنْ يَقُولُ النَّاسِ أَمَرَ رَجُلًا بِطَلَاقِ إِمْرَأَتِهِ وَنَكَحَهَا حِينَ طَلَّقَهَا. Are you afraid to say, to order the man to divorce your wife? Order. So it was not a choice of the man, it is Muhammad who ordered the man to divorce her, so Muhammad can have her. Do you see it, Muslims? After I finish this video, I'm going to post those links. Actually, you know what? I think I can post those links right now, but I will do it later. This is At-Tabari, page number 273, in the front of your eyes. You see the page? Are you afraid that you are going to order a man to divorce his wife so you can have her and you can F her? Is that a prophet of God? Well, I'm really, I want to know what kind of a prophet of God who go to the house of his own son, abusing the trust, because when the women, she allowed Muhammad to get inside the house, why he is there? The husband is not there. The husband is not there. Why he get in? He got in supposedly because he is the father of this man. And this is why Muhammad, he made a verse to change the law of adoption. He forbid adoption since then, just to fulfill his sexual desire. Look what Al-Qurtubi says. What Al-Qurtubi says is even more ugly and disgusting. This is Al-Qurtubi, as you see in the front of your eyes, volume number 14. According to Al-Qurtubi, that after Muhammad, he saw her, and he liked her, and he loved her, and he mentioned to her that he wanted her. Each time Zayd, he wanted to have sex with her, Allah will make his penis swell. أن زيدا تورم ذلك منه حين أراد أن يقربوها. So each time Zayd, he want to have sex with his wives, because the Prophet of Allah, he wanted her. See, this is a miracle of Allah. Allah, he make his penis swell, so he cannot have sex with her. And there, down it says, by the way, if you don't believe me, I can copy the text, all right? And I can take it live in the front of your eyes to Google Translation. We know that Google Translation is not too much accurate, but you know what? Better than nothing. All right? Google Translate. Copy paste. Zayd is swilling that he wanted to close to her. Do you see the translation? Obviously, it's clear, right? So each time Zayd, he wanted to get close to the woman to have sex with her, Allah, he make his penis swell. What a story. The man is want to have sex with his wife. Allah don't want him to have sex with his wife. Why? Because the Prophet, he liked her. If the Prophet, he liked your wife, Allah will never allow you to get close to her, and he will make your penis swell. So when the Muslims speak about dignity, and you are following someone who is a cheater, he cannot be trusted. Even there's a hadith that says if the Prophet, actually we can find it right away in the interpretation, I think, any woman the Prophet he like, he ordered the husband to divorce her and he sleep with her. Look what it says here in the story. When the Prophet entered upon Zainab, Allah, he sent wind. And he made him see Zainab. And when she is wearing, let us say, very open clothes, almost naked maybe. Let me take as it is in the front of your eyes to Google translation. That God sends the wind. See the God? See what the God do? Muhammad don't want to look. The man is inside the house. How the wind get inside the house? So God, he sent the wind and left what is between her and him. And he saw Zainab, and was she wearing sexy clothes. Not left the jacket, she's wearing revealing clothes, obviously, see through maybe. So he fell himself in her love. What? And when Zayd he came, the wife, she told the husband what the Prophet said when he saw her beauty. He said to her, Subhana mu'allaf al-qulub, my heart is beating for you. Imagine how filthy he is announcing to a married woman his interest of sleeping with her. Imagine a prophet of God is flirting with married women. And not only married to his own son by adoption. And this is why actually he is inside the house alone. Why Muhammad is inside the house? Muslims are not allowed to be alone in the house if the husband is not there. Unless you are from the family, unless you are a member of the family. And this is why he's there, because simply he is the father of this guy. So until now, just from two pictures, we mentioned many things, and we show that Islam is not really what people say and what Muslims say. It's a bunch of lies. If we continue in this page, let us see what else. The life of this world compared to the hereafter is as one of you were to put his finger in the ocean and take it out again, then compare the water that remain in his finger to the water that remain in the ocean. Prophet Muhammad. That's an amazing thing to say. Hold on. Muhammad, he said something maybe you do not notice. First of all, in the heaven of Allah, there is no oceans. And the water in the heaven is not too much. There's only 3 rivers. One of wine, one of milk, and one of money. And actually, there is an extra river, which is Al-Kawthar, which is the sperm. And that is a river will be given to Muhammad only. And there's a spring of water, it's called Salsabil. That's it. There's no ocean. So this statement is proof to me that Muhammad is a false prophet, because it contradicts everything he said. What ocean, what sea, what is that? Secondly, what about you quote for me your prophet speaking about the beauty of the wives will be in the heaven, and how Allah will make their butt 1 mile size? That is an amazing wisdom. How come the Muslims do not want to mention that to us? Let us see. Or this heaven is not what you want to talk about. You want to talk only about things will make Muhammad look like a wise man. God, he want to make, oh, I don't see it here in English. Let us see it then in Arabic. Because you see, the Muslims, they hide most of their secretive bad things, they never translate. All right. This is the hadith. Library Islam. إن أدنى أهل الجنة منزلة. And by the way, why this hadith we cannot find it in that website? Let me search again. Let me try this. Because we should be able to find it in English. Why not? Okay. I didn't see it in English. I will not be surprised really if they do not translate it, because Muslims always they hide those things. Look at this hadith first before we go there, as long we found this one. And by the way, the Muslim, they will say to you, this is da'if, this is strong. You can go to YouTube and you can search for a speech by Sheikh Hamza, very well-known Muslim, and he will explain to you that what Muslim says about da'if is stupid, because there's nothing is called da'if. All hadith are accepted. Sheikh Hamza, da'if, weak hadith. Search for this. Here we go. You can listen to him and he will say to you that those are, even the da'if is very much accepted. It pass. It what? It pass.
Each time. So the first Yasin, because Yasin, D minus.
Here we go.
All right. There's an attack on weak hadith in our time. A weak hadith is anywhere from a B minus to a D minus. All right. A Hasan hadith is a B to an A minus. And then a Sahih hadith, I'm just using a language you can understand. An A minus is like a Sahih hadith is from an A to an A plus to 100%. Mutawatir is 100%. Al-Bukhari is like 98%, 99%. Muslim and Bukhari, 99%. Sahih Muslim, 97%. So a weak hadith is not thrown out. Just like a professor doesn't throw out a paper that gets a B minus. It didn't flunk. It passed.
It passed.
And
listen to what he said. Sahih Muslim, Sahih al-Bukhari is 99 something percent accurate. All right? This is what he said. We just heard him saying that, right? Sunan al-Nisa'i and Ibn Majah and Dawood and etc. Those are Sahih books. Those are Sahih books. Those are not weaks. So when they come with the da'if, it's a joke, just to make you believe that it's not accepted. It is very much accepted. And you know what? I challenge you to throw it out. As he said, we cannot throw it out. It passed. It is there because it passed. It's good. Now look what Muhammad he said to him. Look at the beauty of the heaven. Each one of you Muslims will have 80,000 slaves, additional to the 72 wives. How many slaves? How many? 80 80,000 slaves. Do you see it? And here they are saying servant. What servant? And those slaves are naked boys. The Quran described those slaves as the following. Let's switch to Arabic. Chapter 52, verse number 24. Around them will serve, devoted to them, young male servant, handsome as pearls, well guarded. You see it? So that's 80,000 little one. Those are very beautiful boys who they are going to serve you. Serve you in what? What do you mean? Why a human being he need 80,000 little boy? Is that a child abuse? You see how beautiful the heaven of Allah? Allah will abuse 80,000 human beings just to serve me? Is that a reward? The reward itself is an abuse for mankind. It is unjust. Because why you want to make little boys my slaves for eternity? What they did? Some opinion they say those are the little ones of the Christians and the Jews. Allah will make them slaves of the Muslims. What a shame. What a disgusting religion. The heaven of a child abuse. Not only child abuse in earth where Muhammad having sexual relationship with a child. She is 6 years old in the Islamic calendar, 5 years old in our calendar. Even in heaven. And by the way, those boys will never bleed. Bleed from what? The Muslims, they say, oh, bleed from drinking alcohol. Hold on, who is going to drink alcohol? The Muslims or the boys? So when a Muslim speak about heaven and paradise, you need to remember they are talking about a pimp house, has no morality. Is it moral to have 80,000 little boys enslaved to serve me? Is that moral? Is that moral to give me 72 sex slaves? They are created just for sex? And the top of them, my wives on earth? And by the way, this is the lowest position. This is not the highest. This is the bad person. The least of people in paradise. In position is the one with 80,000 servant, or let us say sex slave, and 72 women, and shall have a tent of pearl. What? You can read the whole rest and you see how stupid it is. When you go to heaven, you will be in certain age. By the way, the translation here is not accurate. You see, in Arabic, they cut the rest of it. In English, this is why the English one is bigger than the Arabic one. What an honest Muslims in their translation. Look, suddenly, usually it's the opposite. Usually the Arabic one is big, the English one is big, the small. Now the English one is big, the Arabic one is gone. Because they didn't show you the rest. When you are going to go to heaven, Allah will make you 30 years old. supposedly this is the age of Jesus, according to Muslims. Some hadith says 33. So what is the morality in this religion? We could not find it on earth. The Prophet is cheating. The Prophet entering the house of his own son, molesting his wife, having sex with her, ordering his own son to divorce his wife so he can sleep with her. And actually, even Zainab, when Muhammad took her to his home, she said to him, okay, now we should marry, right? Where is the witnesses? Because in Islam, if you don't have witnesses, this is adultery. If you don't have witnesses, this is adultery. Look what Muhammad said. Allahu wa Jibreel shuhudi. Allah and Gabriel is my witnesses. What? You see how hypocrite he is? He is not marrying her. He want to have sex with her. He do not need witnesses. He made a law Muslims have to follow. If they don't follow, he stoned them. But Muhammad, he do not need to follow the law. For he is God and he is the law. And now he is horny. He isn't going to wait for witnesses. Allah and Jibreel is witnessing. Just take off your clothes. And I will not be surprised, and I believe strongly that Muhammad, he have a relationship with this girl from the beginning. Because remember, the one who married this girl, Zainab, the one we were talking about, to his own son, it was Muhammad. Yes, it was him. And I believe strongly, based on this story, Muhammad, he made this man, his son, marry her so he can have access anytime to his house, and his wife, she will never suspect. I'm talking about the first wife, Khadija, which was the rich, and Muhammad was like a puppy in front of her. He married her for the sake of her money. She was almost 25 years older, and he married her just for the sake of money. But yet, by the way, Muhammad, he don't like widows, and he don't like old women. He liked children. So why he married Khadija? Let us examine more of the morality of Muhammad. Once Muhammad, he saw one of his followers in rush. He said to him, what's wrong? Where are you going fast? Why you are in a rush? He said to him, well, I am married. I want to see my wife. I miss my wife. So he said to him, why you are, did you marry young virgin, or you married non-virgin? Really? Just to show you the morality of the Prophet. I married a woman whereupon Allah Messenger said to me, have you married? I said, yes. He said, is it a virgin or previously married one? Which means widow or divorced. I said, with a previously married one. Whereupon he said, which means Muhammad, where had you been away from the amusement of a virgin? Don't you want to have the fun of being with a virgin? And he continued, I made, this guy he mentioned saying, I made mention it to Omar ibn Dinar, and he said, I too heard from Jabir making mention of that Allah Apostle said, why you don't marry a girl so that you might sport with her. Actually, it doesn't say a girl, it says a young girl. Here it says Jariya. Let me show you in different hadith to confirm. He's asking not only to have a virgin, but a young girl. But look, well, hold on. Is it moral to say to a guy, why you are marrying a widow? Why you don't go and marry someone she's a virgin? Is that right? The guy is married. He have a wife. He is happy with her. Obviously, if you read the story in different places, you see he is in a rush. You want to go and meet her. cannot wait to see her. So Muhammad, he says to him, why you are married to a virgin? Why you are married to a widow, man? Do you know how much fun you are missing? Why do you not marry a virgin with whom you could sport? What sport? First translation. تلاعبها وتلاعبك, which means have fun with her. You know, they are fun, the young ones. Why do you want to go to, why do you want to go to a widow? So if this is Muhammad's idea of the widows, obviously he don't like the widows, he like the virgins. The virgins are the fun, so why he married Khadija? Because she have money. Khadija, not only she is widowed, she is very old compared to him. From this story, obviously, the fun for Muhammad is not to marry a widow, but to be with a virgin. If you ask Muslims, Muhammad was marrying to many women. Actually, most of them either he killed their husbands, and because they are beautiful, he took them. But obviously, his favorite wife was Aisha. She is the young and the virgin. His favorite upon all. Where is the morality? Revert to Islam. What is, who's going to revert to who's going to follow such a man? Imagine Jesus says to a man, why you married a widow, man? Go and get a virgin. They are fun. He is playing in the mind of the man, so he will divorce his wife. He is spreading the seeds of evil, so the man will divorce his wife. Because now, if the Prophet of Allah said that to you as an advice, what do you think the man he will go and do? He will start thinking seriously about having a new wife. She is a child. Somebody saying to me, he's a Muslim, his name is Mufti. Why do you do this when you know nothing about Islam? You know what? I know nothing about Islam. I'm showing everything with the proofs and reference. Now, do you dare to debate me? The one who's saying, I know nothing about Islam, do you dare to debate me? I challenge the Muslims to say, I will debate you. Muslims debate only those who do not know. But when it's come to me, you Muslims are cowards. I have an offer for you, Mr. Mufti, and your name is Mufti, which means they are the one who give fatwa, right? So you must be a knowledgeable person. If you debate me, I will give you 10 of my books for free. Do you accept the challenge? Ten books will make 10 Muslims leave Islam. I know nothing about Islam. I know about Islam more than your Prophet himself knows. Debate me and let everybody see who knows, who do not. Be the man. Stop making speeches. I am the one who exposed Islam, and none of you Muslims dare to debate me. And my books is in the front of your eyes. None of you can refute it. And soon my coming book will be in French. When a Muslim says, if you know nothing about Islam, what he is talking about? You see, if I'm a man who show no reference, who is making a speeches, that's maybe possible. This guy, he do not know what he's talking about. And instead of refuting what I am showing, they say you know nothing about Islam. Where are you Muslims? Where is the brave of you? Let us continue in exposing the false prophet Muhammad, who is encouraging a man to leave his widow wife so he can play with the virgin. Look how noble the excuse. The man is happy with his marriage. He is not complaining to you. He is not fighting with his wife. Actually, he like her. If you go in different, the same story, different hadith, you will see this man, he is really desperate to go to his wife. He miss her. But Muhammad, here we go. Read the story with me here. This is in Sahih Muslim. The man is desperately, he want to see his wife. He love her, obviously. When we returned, I urged my camel to move quickly, as it's slow. It was slow. You see it? This man who is married to the widow. There met me a rider from behind me, and he guided me with an iron tripped stick, which he had with him. All right. Anyway, so this is what it was, Muhammad, and he said to him, "Why you are in rush?" Hey Jabir, look what Muhammad said to him. "Why you are hastens? What hastens you?" And then he says to him, "I am newly married." Whereupon he said, "Is it a virgin that you have married or previously married?" The question, Muslims, what is the business of your prophet with this question? Is that his business? The man is married. That is legal and lawful and faithful. He is doing nothing wrong. What is the business of Muhammad, the prophet of the Abdul, to know if she is a widow or she is a virgin? I know, Muhammad, the prophet of the nosy. He have to put his nose there. He want to know if she is having a virgin situation or not, because that's not fun. He is worried about this guy. He wants him to have fun. He said to him, with the previously married, he said, "Oh, why not a young girl?" You see the young girl? Do you see it? Saghira. Muhammad, he liked the young ones. So why he married Khadija? Money, my friend. Money can do miracles, especially in Islam. Why you don't marry a young girl who is a virgin so you can play with her and molest her? That's your prophet. That's your prophet, Muslims. So posting pictures in Facebooks about the prophet of Allah and the religion of Islam and the guidance of the prophet and the wisdom of Muhammad, is that the wisdom? Is that the wisdom to make a man hate his wife and make him believe that he should marry a young girl and dump the widow? Is that right? Is that the wisdom to say to a man who is happily married and he is so desperately he want to go home because he miss his wife, which means he is really in love with his wife, as we read the story? Is that the wisdom to say to him, why you marry a widow? Why? Man, what you did? Go and get a virgin. Is that a prophet of God? Is that a prophet of God, Muslims? And this is the reference in the front of your eyes. If we want to continue with those lies in the, you see, even they are posting nothing, but from everything they post, I can show you there's a big story there. Like even the Muslim, they worship Allah, but if you ask any Muslim who is Allah, they do not know. A blind man, he is selling food in the street in Damascus. A blind man in the West, in the land of the kuffar, they give him a salary, Muslims. Do you know that? You Muslims are not merciful. Islam is not merciful. A blind man In the kuffar land, he get a salary, he get a free house, and he get a free insurance, and he get a free doctor. In the land of Islam, a blind man, this poor old man, not only he is old, he have to go desperately and sit in the street to make living. That's because Muslims are very merciful. But I have a surprise for you. You see any picture you show me here, I'm going to show you a surprise about the filthy Muhammad. Do you know, guys, what Muhammad did with the blind man? Guess what? A blind man, he came to Muhammad. He want to ask him a question about Islam. Guess what? If we go to chapter 80, verse number 1, you will see Muhammad is kicking the blind man out of his home. Is that the merciful prophet? Seriously, a man, he came to Muhammad. If we go to the tafsir books, let me try to find it in English. Hold on. You see, we are not even picking up our cherries. We are just going down in the page of Facebook, and each time we read something, we find it's a disaster and it's a big lie. Even if it does says nothing, like even this picture says nothing, like a blind man in Damascus. But if you go and search about a blind man in Islam, you will see how Muhammad was horrible when he met a blind man. And later we can compare between what Muhammad did with a blind man and what Jesus did with the blind man. For some reason, this website is not opening. Let me see if I open in different browser. Hold on, because I want to see you. I want to show you. Let me see, because we want to go to a book. It's called Asbab al-Nuzul, but for some reason it's not opening in my browser. I'm not sure why. I think they have an error there. Let us go. And this browser is not opening too. Let us see if there is a way. Anyway, if you go, there's a book here. Try to open it in your side. There's a book. It's called Asbab al-Nuzul. You see, when I click, it's not really moving. Let me try to reload. Oh, maybe now it's going to work. Let us see. All right. Look with me here. He frowned and turned away because the blind man come to him. Quran chapter 80, verse number 1 and 2. This is referred to Ibn Maktoum. You can read here until we arrive. All right, here we go. Muhammad was busy. He was meeting those names. And those are rich people of Quraysh. He's trying to convince them to convert to Islam. Those are rich people. Those are the rich ones. And a blind man coming to Muhammad. Which one Muhammad should talk to? He kicked out the blind man and he was busy with the rich men. Because for sure the rich man is important. The blind man shut him up. The story is in the front of your eyes. he said to himself, these chiefs, they are leaders, see, will say his followers consist of only the blind, lowly people and slaves. This is what you are worried about? This is really what the reason? You see how evil he is? The chief, he said to himself, I'm talking to those high people now, and if they see me speaking to this blind man, they will think the one who follow me is just those poor people. No, 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 I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to show them that I'm going to speak to a blind man. I speak only to rich, important people. When the blind man, he come to Jesus, he said to him, Lord, I want to see. What Jesus said to him? Oh, just go, man. I do miracles only for the rich ones. Man, you are poor. I'm not going to help you. What Jesus did, he gave him eyes to see. He did not say to him, come tomorrow, I'm busy with the rich one. So how dare you Muslims speaking about morality when you are following the most disgusting person who only served the rich one? What do you think if a man walking in the street and he saw a blind man asking for help? Because obviously this is what this guy is asking. He's coming all the way to the house of Muhammad and he's blind to ask him a question. You need something from him. And supposedly this question is about Islam. Muhammad, he favored the rich over the blind man, afraid that if he answered the blind man, he will lose the rich one. He is not worried about losing the poor man, he is worried about losing the rich ones. Is that the prophet you are looking for? As you see, guys, I'm not picking up my cherries. I'm just going pictures by pictures. Even the picture doesn't say anything. The picture itself doesn't say anything, really. I'm showing you stories about those people. A woman, she converted to Islam. By the way, Muslims, I can show you from Al Jazeera TV that 16,000 Muslims leave in Islam a day. Al Jazeera TV. You can go right now to YouTube and search 16,000 Muslim leaving. This is Al Jazeera TV. 16,000. This is the program. It's called Al-Sharia and Al-Hayat, where your scholars saying clearly that 16,000 Muslims leave in Islam a day to Christianity, crying out for what's happening. 16,660 something every hour, according to this Muslim sheikh. His name is Ahmad al-Atawani, or Qat'ani, sorry. And the host is Mahir Abdullah from Al Jazeera TV. So Muslims, they try to flood you with some pictures because, you know, when somebody converts to Islam, they don't need to hide their ID. But when Muslims leave Islam, nobody go and make a video because Muslims will kill them. That's a fact. Let us continue. What else? Okay, the messenger, peace upon him, he said, by the way, there's nothing in the hadith or in the Quran about Muhammad, peace upon him. It's a lie. It says sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which means Allah pray on him and salute him. All right. Guard the zakat of Ramadan. Then someone, he start food stuff, etc. and hadith. You know what? When the Muslims speaking about the blessing of the Prophet, You need to ask yourself, the money which Muhammad he collect from what? Muhammad will not pray for you unless you pay him. Not only you have to pay zakat, zakat is a must, but there's additional payment. Muhammad ordered the Muslims, he said, Allah told me to take from your money alms. To take what? Alms. What is the purpose? So you can purify them and pray for them. And pray in their behalf. Have you ever heard of someone, you pay him to pray for you? Let us see. I don't know, like here, for some reason, I don't know what this thing showing in the screen. وَلَهُمْ صَدَقَةٌ. Oh man, that will take us. For some reason, it's not coming. Here we go. Chapter 9, verse 103. The bad thing about this website, you cannot go to verses by navigator. You have to go, and search for it. Take from their money alms. Of their goods, take alms. I don't like this Yusuf Ali. He's trying to make it like Shakespeare, trying to make it like a very funny translation. Let us go to this guy here. Take alms out of their property. You would cleanse them and purify them thereby, and pray for them. What? The Prophet, he's asking you to pay him so he can pray and cleanse you and purify you by the payment? Are you serious? So if I am a poor man, the Prophet will not pray for me? You see, I'm showing you all the translations, so you don't say I'm picking up my cherries. Your Prophet Muhammad, he worked like a Pepsi Cola machine. Unless you put a coin in the hole, the Prophet will not pray in your behalf. Now, do you see it? Pray in their behalf. So you pay him, the Prophet pay in your behalf. Why he will pray in your behalf? Oh, because I paid him. Really? I think with this is enough for today, and I will try to make more videos in the future of this false website. I advise by the way, Christians, you can go to this page. It's called Revert to Islam, and post my videos for them there, and let us see if the Muslims dare to debate me. I challenge you, Muslims. You know what I challenge you mean? To debate me. And I offer you to read my books, so you might learn. For obviously, your religion is a false religion. Your prophet is a scumbag. I'm not insulting. It is the truth. A man, he go to visit his own son, and then he got horny. He want to have sex with his own son's wife. That is not to be described anything but a scumbag. This is a man can't be trusted, can't be invited to any house. Anyone have a question for me? Please feel free. This is the address where you can contact me. And if you like to help us in donation, please feel free, and your help is welcome. You can support us by giving only $1 a month, so we can do better, and we can provide more to expose this religion. And if you have a radio station, TV station, and you would like to invite me to your radio show, I would be happy to go and to be there. And actually, even if it is a Muslim TV or Muslim radio, be brave, Muslims, invite me. And if you have the truth, you will not lose. If you don't, well, shame on you to be a believer in the false god, the moon god, and the prophet who is a child molester, sex offender, gang leader, thief, the man who is accused even in the Quran of stealing underwear. That is your prophet. With this, I say thank you, God bless, and feel free, please, to share my videos around and invite people to join us in our YouTube, or even to post comment in the address you see in front of you. You click at my profile, and there's you will find many of my videos too. You can post comment, or you can, if you want, you can send me a private message if you have any special request to debate a Muslim or to refute a Muslim or to make a video. God bless, and thank you very much.